Mishnah, the second parak. Thank you. The man marries the woman, either he or his agent. Isham is kadeshes. A woman is married, meaning by giving her directly the object of value, ubishlucha, or giving it to her agent. She appoints an agent to represent her, and the husband chooses to give the kesef to the agent for kiddushin. The woman is married. Who else marries a woman? To accept the ring in marriage. So who is she? Who is the agent? The agent is her. So if the husband says, I am marrying you on behalf of so-and-so, being her agent, when he gives the agent the money, in whose hand, when he puts it into the agent's hand, it's the equivalent of her hand. So that means she's married. And it's witnessed. It's witnessed by witnesses. It's like she's receiving the presence of witnesses, or the agent's receiving the presence of witnesses. I mean, there's a separate question. How do you know the agent's the agent? You have to have witnesses that the agent's the agent. But once you have agents that witnesses the agent, so now the agent is equivalent of herself. So when you give her the money or the get or whatever it is for kiddushin, so that she's married. No. That's PM lo big sova.
So they have to, witnesses have to come with.
Or Bezdin, or it was done in Bezdin, or you're right.
Coming from over,
Correct. Somehow it has to be done. It's not simple. Who ish b'kadish is bito, chi naro. A man marries his daughter when she's a naro, even though it's explicit in Torah that a man can marry his daughter the moment she's born, as bito in the sat l'shazeh. Right? Her father marries off his daughter as a katana. She doesn't have to have any understanding whatsoever. So what does the Mishnah say? Only bita hanaro, she naro, bo b'shlucho. So the Gemara is going to talk about this. Of course, the Gemara is going to say that a naro, you'd say to the naro, I'm marrying you off to so and so. So she has a mindset. She has a mind of her own. So she say to her husband, to her father, you know something, it's okay. So, because she could say to her father, it's okay, and she has some say in the matter, so to say. At least she was informed. That itself will allow her that the marriage should be okay. What about a child is totally disconnected? Newborn child, a child who's not of intelligence. Father marries her. All of a sudden, she realizes she has a husband. She may be taken aback by this. This may actually undermine the marriage, the relationship. Therefore, if he does it, it's valid, but it's something he should not do, because if he does it, it's a problem of avtolecha kamocha. He's doing the wrong thing for his daughter. So Tosa speaks about today. The minig is we marry off with our daughters even when they're katanos. No, Tosa doesn't say that. Tosa doesn't say to protect them. Okay. The father's doing the wrong thing. The father marrying off his daughter. No, that was the two versions of the Gemara, because the Gemara is going to say in a moment. It's not. Okay? We'll see. So we'll get to the Gemara. Ish mekarish is bitok shinara bo b'shlucho. Either he appoints an agent to marry off his daughter. It's also. So Mari, it's a question. Now, why is a shliach? When the person appoints an agent, what is the agent? The agent is empowered with the ability of the one who appoints him. He's transferring the rights. His ability is being transferred to the agent. So the agent can only be the agent only because it's a transfer of what? Of rights, of ability. So if that's the case, when the Mishnah says, Bo, he could marry his daughter or there's agent. So just tell me the agent is able to marry the daughter. And included within the agent, it's understood that he's able to marry her. Because if he couldn't, you can't. Before we had a discussion, because this is going to come up a little later, and Ahmed Beis, the Gemara says that you could only appoint an agent for something you can do yourself. imotzi mashri shliach. Whatever you could do, you could appoint a shliach in that context. Something that you're not able to do, you're not able to appoint an agent. Right? So Tosas asks a question for Gemara in the Dorim. Gemara asks a question, the Dorim poses a question. Person makes a netter, says, I will not benefit from this coin. That's the netter he makes. So he's not permitted to benefit. So Gemara has a question, what happens if he has to bring his korban, the Yisrael, and he said he will not benefit from the coin? Says, what? Well, I'm going to remind you. Okay? So the Gemara says, it depends. No, not mitzvah. Everybody's guessing. Okay? You're showing me how much you don't remember. Okay. So the Gemara says in the Dorim that if it's shluchah derachmana, if the Kohen is God's agent, he's not your agent, he could officiate. Because he's not your agent. If he's your agent, that means he's accommodating your need. He's doing your bidding. He's not doing your bidding. You're only a beneficiary of what he does. Benefit means direct benefit. Being a beneficiary is not benefit. But if shluchah didan, but if you're the agent of the person, then it's a problem. That's the Gemara's question in the Dorim. Is your shluchah didan shluchah derachmana, the shliach of Hakadosh Baruch Hu, or the shliach of the person? So Tos asks a question in the Dorim and over here. But if the principle of shlichus is you can't appoint an agent only in a context where you could function yourself, v'kabol ve'elech, from receiving the blood onward, only the Kohen's qualified. So how could you delegate the service from the second act to the conclusion where you're not qualified? The concept of shlichus is what I'm able to do, I delegate. You have that capability because I delegated. But over here, Yisrael is not qualified to go beyond shchita. Right? Shchita ksher b'zor. A non-Kohen can do shchita. But beyond shchita, a non-Kohen is not qualified. So what is even the consideration that he's that of course it's shluchah derachmana? That's Tos's question. Right? Tos's answers, it's a dochi, but that's what Tos's answers. That the Gemara wanted to bring a proof from a Bryce or a Mishnah. That was the Gemara's shaila. What the Gemara says in kiddushin early in Chav Beis Amud Beis, it's logical. It's a statement of an Amora. Amora says, you know something? Based on the logic of what shlichus is, you can only appoint a shliach in a capacity where you function in that capacity. But if you don't function in that capacity, you can't appoint a shliach. Right? That's a svara. That's called a shmaitza. That's a statement of an Amora. But the Gemara was looking, is there a Mishnah or a Bryce that I'm able to resolve the shaila? That the Gemara doesn't find. Logically, of course, it can only be one, not the other. That's his answer. So over here, if the Mishnah says, Ish mekadish b'shlucho, so how is he going to be a shliach? Right? Logically, he can't be a shliach unless you function in that capacity. So if you're not capable, so shlucho, this is b'chlam musayimona. When I say shliach, it means you. So that's the first question. So what does that say, bo? Not only you, shlucho. You follow me? No, I'm come to explain why the word bo is superfluous. It should say, Ish mekadish b'shlucho. That would be enough. Because he can't be your shlich unless you function in that capacity. It's similar to shluchah derachmana. So that's more. So what does it say, bo? So therefore, bo, seemingly superfluous, but it's not. Omer Rav Yosef, to tell me, bo, mitzvah bo Yosef b'shlucho. That although it can be delegated, but factually, it has greater value. If you could do the mitzvah yourself, you should do it yourself rather than delegate it. Person is able to, I always this comes up where I daven on Sundays. So it comes around with the tzedakah box. So I take whatever the amount, and the person who's collecting takes that out of my hand and puts it in the pushka. I don't want to insult him, right? I prefer to put it in the pushka myself. I don't need an agent. Do I need you to put it in the tzedakah box for me? I put it in myself. Based on principle mitzvah bo Yosef b'shlucho, has greater value if I do it myself because it shows a greater chavivus mitzvah. That's the whole idea. It shows the mitzvah is more dear to you. It's an endearment of the mitzvah, right? Mitzvah Yosef b'shlucho. Could you please put the dollar in the box for me? You know, walk over. You know, could you please sign the $1 million contract? You said you want to sign the contract. You don't send somebody else to sign the contract. Something special you do yourself. So that's bo. Mitzvah bo yosef b'shlucho. Wait, let's get the principle down. Kihod Rav Safra Bachrach Reisha. Rav Safra in preparation for Shabbos. After this today, Howard's not showing up Erev Shabbos. He'll be busy in the kitchen. Rav Safra Machrach Reisha. He would singe the hair off the head of the animal before they would broil it. He personally. What, he didn't have, he had a housekeeper, he had servants. This is something for Rav Safra, with the leading Torah sage of his generation. He has to be busy with this. Rava Malach Shibuta. Before his wife made gefilte fish, he would salt the fish. He had to salt the fish. The answer is mitzvah bo yosef mishlucho. Because if I could engage in the mitzvah myself, it's what? It's an honor. You show it's privilege. It enhances. It's an endearment of the mitzvah. Ish b'kadish bo. It's preferable you should do it. It's not within the halacha context. Shlucho, halacha would mean to say shlucho, because the shlich couldn't do it unless you could do it. But bo comes to indicate if you're able to do it yourself, you should do it, so you should not delegate it. Igad Amrik, another version. Bo isur nami isbo. That if you do it through an agent, it's even an isur. It's not to show an endearment of the mitzvah. I mean, halachically, if you do it through an agent, it's valid. But you're not doing the right thing. It's not the optimum way of marrying. Why? It's forbidden for a person to marry a woman unless you see her first. You have to visually see what she looks like. Because he may see something which is muguneh, something which is unacceptable. How does he translate muguneh in the ArtScroll? Detestable, repulsive, and she'll be not attractive to him. As a result of this, the Torah says you have to do whatever you can to create the best setting. So how do we guarantee the best setting? Right? You never know what tomorrow will bring. It's interesting. We had the Gemara in a number of places that Tainis Psochim, that if a woman is in Avelo during the Shiva, if she's of age where she dates, she could put on cosmetics. Why? So she should be attractive. What about a woman's married? During that, she could also put on cosmetics, even during she's sitting Shiva. Sholtizgana bailo. Because if she looks in the disheveled state, she'll be repulsive to her husband, even though they're not permitted to engage with one another sexually during the Shiva period, right? Cohabitation is not permitted during Shiva. It doesn't make a difference. But if the husband sees his wife in a disheveled state, it may actually affect the relationship. Sholtizgana bailo. So it comes out, it's not shalom bayis. This seemingly goes, the whole concept of shaluzgan is v'havta orecha kamocha. Chazal would want to maintain the v'havta orecha kamocha. Right? Because we see shaluzgan is v'havta orecha kamocha over here. She's repulsive to the husband, and you could have prevented it, so we could prevent it. We allow her to what? To put cosmetics on. The right thing is, before you marry a woman, you should see her first. Because if you get married, you don't see her first, you may be creating a scenario where the marriage isn't about to be right. So, something, you shouldn't get married then. So if you want to treat your fellow right, you shouldn't have entered into the marriage. So how do you know? How do you prepare for it? See her first. Well, I'll worry about it later. But at whose cost are you going to worry about it later? At her cost. So that's a failing v'afto reichel kamocha. So if that's the case, if we're saying, so therefore it says, Ish Makadish Bo, it's preferable he should do it. He should visually see her. But however, halachically speaking, Bishlucho, let's say he did see her. Right? So if he did see her, then he could what? He could have the shliach. He could have the shliach do it. So if so, Where did Rav Yosef say his halacha? V'chiyit Rav Yosef Sefer Yitmar. It says, "Isha miskadeshes bo ubishlucha." It says a woman, she could be married either by receiving it herself or through her agent. So again, it's a boys, it's superfluous. Regarding the man, we say it's v'afta recha kamocha. It's an iser. What about the woman? Bo bishlucha. Hashta bishlucha mekacha bo mi boy. Right? If she's able to be married through her agent receiving the money, so it's understood that it's all dependent upon her. Because there's a mitzvah, she should receive it herself more rather than the agent. She should be involved herself in the process. Wait a second. Wait. Let's try to just explain what the words mean. Right? I know you're eager to know. Bo yosem b'shlucha. This still, even though a woman's not obligated in Friday Rabbi, right? What's her mitzvah? Nevertheless, being associated with the Dvar mitzvah is something special, right? She's a participant, even though she's not obligated. She's still a participant. What do you mean? It's a mitzvah. That's what I'm explaining. If she is the object, she's the person being married. Is she part of the mitzvah? Of course she's part of the mitzvah. Can I ask you a question? You take an esrog and you do the mitzvah with it. What's the esrog called? It's called tashmishi mitzvah. It's the object that we use for the mitzvah. The object, what the esrog has no relevance to. Why not? The woman is the person who participates in the mitzvah. What are you talking? So I want to participate. No, it says mitzvah bo. No, we didn't say it. Mitzvah bo yosem shlucha. No, mitzvah. We're not saying it's a mitzvah. The word mitzvah doesn't mean the fulfillment of the mitzvah. It means, yeah, there's a mitzvah. She should be involved more than her agent. What mitzvah? What's the? It's showing the value of mitzvah. The mitzvah is to show you value mitzvah.
Well, the same case with the Kohen and the woman kind of
No, it's different. No. There she's obligated. Because there he can only fulfill the mitzvah with the Yavama. Here, go marry some other woman. Right? For your obligation of procreation, you can marry anybody for Friday Rabbi. Where do we see this being displayed? Mitzvah Yosef B'Shlucha. Machar Chreisha. Rav Safra Machar Chreisha. Rabba Mol Shibuta. Rava Mol Shibuta. Avabo, said Moses. Avabo Isur Lesbo. So the question, one of you saying, what about Vahata Recha Gamocha? You know, if she doesn't see him in advance, he may be repulsive to her. It's a famous Gemara. A woman, what she is agreeable to is less than what the man is agreeable to. Why? Did Reish Lakish? Dam Reish Lakish? What are you saying, Howard? You're the shining knight in armor, right, Howard? She prefers to be with another body than be by herself. That's literally what it means. Do is to get two. Tandu. Do is double. To be by yourself. Like armalo, like almona in Aramaic is armalo, all by yourself. So the ba comes to tell me what? For her, it's better she should. So Tosei is a question. But it's still being Isser. Because if she appoints an agent, but then the husband, when he marries through the agent, he doesn't see the wife. So again, you have an Isser. It says, there's no Isser. If she wants to appoint an agent to receive the money, she's not doing an Isser, correct? Why? Because Tavno is Tandu. But factually, now when the husband gives the money to his prospective wife, does he know who she is? He doesn't know who she is. It's her agent. She's back to square one. So again, there's an Isser. So it should be Ba again. Why do we say Tal Mesav Tandu? Because she prefers to have two rather than be with someone rather with by herself.
But it's not her responsibility.
Right.
So that's what that's what Rashi asks. Rashi answers this: she's still not doing an Isser. He should say, I prefer not to. I prefer not to. But, right? But from her vantage point, she's doing nothing wrong. She's doing nothing wrong. But it's interesting.
That's one of the cases that the Mishnah talks about. I mean, in this case, he is marrying, he is doing the marrying, but he's still not having.
He doesn't see her. Right. So he shouldn't. In his, he should say, I prefer not. Because, what about a woman says, I'm willing to waive after Rechel Tamocha. She appoints an agent. So maybe she's appointing the agent. She's waiving it. If he sends the agent, he's not seeing her. So that's his problem. On her side, it's Tav Mesav Tandu. But when she sends the agent, she says, something? And he's agreeable. So that means, what about Vaflo Rechel Kamocha? I'm willing to waive it. No, because the answer is, well, can't you waive? You could waive it. Something say, I want to have no. If I tell you, I allow you to damage my property, are you a damager? There's permission to damage. But if I give you permission to damage, no, you're damaging, but you're not a damager. Right? So here also, she says, something, you don't have to worry about Vaflo Rechel Kamocha. Right? It's what?
He may say so, but then when it happens,
she may say so. You mean she may say so?
no,
She may so.
But if he's willing to do that, then he's also saying he's not seeing the wife.
No.
He may be repulsed later on.
No, but that's exactly what we're talking about. Him being repulsed.
Right. So
But she says it's okay if you repulse me. Who's violating after the husband? She says it's okay. If the husband, she says to her, it's okay if you slap me. Is he in violation of slapping her? No. She gave him permission to slap him. So if she says, I'm sending my agent, right?
I don't care what you look like.
No, it's never her to him. The woman is never v'afto rechel kamocha. It's the man to the woman. So by saying, my agent, it's okay. I'm willing to waive that. So we had a person has, when a man marries a woman, he has three obligations. She'er ksus v'ona. Right? She'er ksus v'ona. Right? Providing clothing, food, and conjugal obligations. So Rashi says in Ksubis that a woman could waive the conjugal obligation. Does a woman waive it for the rest of her life? No. Because that's tsar. I could say, you could cause me pain now. What about tomorrow? Let's say, I said, you could cause me pain today. And immediately you caused me pain. Did I violate it? No, because you said you caused me pain. Well, you said, I want to cause you pain tomorrow. Well, you said I could cause you pain. Look, tomorrow's a different pain. Right? Therefore, it's not nidla. It can't say for you. I owe you a lifetime of support is what? So much money. I waived the debt. You have no obligation. Okay, so it's waived for the rest of the marriage. Right? Providing a residence. I waived that. That's all financial. But pain, it's each event is another aspect of pain. Therefore, you can't waive that. So over here, she says, it's okay. It's okay today. What about tomorrow? When your husband goes and rejects you, and you're opposed to him. So waiving yesterday doesn't help today. That's because we're talking about tsar. This is already his pain. Therefore, the law of waiving is it's not a one-time you waive it, and it actually affects the rest of your life. It's an ongoing accommodation. It's an ongoing relationship. Follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. How does that work by the marriage, though? But like that she waives it for the time she gets married, waiving it for a week.
What does she waive?
She's waiving that it's okay if you
Repulse me.
repulse me, right?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
We're talking about they're going to be married unless he divorces her. They're married. So you're not going to be treating her as you should treat her. Of course, initially, correct? Okay, we'll wait for Tosas for next week. Let's do a little further in the Gemara. Go further. No, they're two different things. Two different things. We're not talking about a mum. We're not talking a mum. Can I ask you a question? You know, beauty's in the eyes of the beholder. Right? Look, Mr. Glick, he sold diamonds. A diamond is a diamond. A person's not a diamond. Okay? When you evaluate a diamond, it is what it is. A person, beauty's in the eyes of the beholder. Check it out. Person says, you know, I have the most beautiful girl for you, woman for you. On paper, it sounds as perfect. You see the person, it's not the person who he's speaking about. Right? It's a different person. So this is something very personal to each individual. So this is something you have to see yourself. Okay? That's how your father told you. You'll get better when he beats you up. Okay? Okay. A man marries his daughter when she's a nara, when she's an adult. I mean, 12 years old, not before. Somebody has a question. She nara ain't, she tana lo? No, that's not a question. It's really just an inference. It seems to be. It's when she's a nara, yes, but not when she's a minor. Messiah leila Rav. So this supports Rav. The Omer of Yud Omer Rav. Item Rav Lozer. Osel Odom she kadesh is bitok she ketana. Achet tigdal. A person is not permitted to marry off his daughter when she's a minor until she becomes an adult. Wait 1 second. V'tomar beploni ani rotza. I'm interested in him. That she should have a mind of her own. I'm interested in him. But if she's not at that level, what's the reason? So the question is, what if Satosa said, what about Tav Meisef Tandu? We just said, regarding Vafto Recho Kamocho, a woman is willing to settle for less than for more. Correct? She's willing to settle less for more. So if that's the case, what do I mean? So what does she have to say? I'm interested in him. As long as he's a husband, she should be interested. Right? She doesn't have to see him. So if she doesn't have to see him, why does she have to say, in him I'm interested? That's Tosa's question. Doesn't make a difference, but there's a top of the base of Tandu. Conceptually, a woman is a dependent person. She prefers to have somebody to rely on than be all by herself. Let's see Tosa's inside. A woman's not permitted to marry off his daughter, father, when she's a minor. We said there's no prohibition because a woman would prefer to be with someone else rather than by herself. Hani mili bigdola. Listen to this. That's only when she's an adult. She miskadesh al yidei atzma. A woman who could marry herself, a nara could also marry herself. The father could marry off his daughter. She could. But a nara is an adult. Yeah. No. Then the father has no say in her life. But let's say a nara. She could marry herself. If the husband gives her permission, she has the right to marry herself. The father. Right? Father gives a katana permission to marry. It means nothing. Right? The act of a minor is nothing. The kevon shnisratzis lekal lemecha shemet tarzer. Since she's agreeable, we're not concerned she's going to back out on the marriage. Because she's aware. Avol katano shnim skadeshes al yidei avio. But a minor who the father marries her off, if she would have been an adult, maybe she wouldn't have been agreeable to this marriage. Right? She wouldn't have been agreeable. Right? So therefore, an adult where the father's telling the daughter, I'm marrying you off, even though she's not seeing him, but since she has a minor and she said it's okay, so it's because she was consulted with, that's enough for her. That she didn't oppose it. The father, what he wants to do, that's enough. What about seeing? What about she has no inkling what's going on? All of a sudden, she comes to know, she realizes she has a husband. She's taken aback. I wasn't consulted. I wasn't consulted. So if that's the case, there's a certain, you're offended. So that she could want to walk away from the marriage. No, it's not enough. Tandu is only principle. See, the two things. The two things. You know, certain people, they'll take the world down based on principle. It's the principle. What difference does it make? No, principle is because that's your ego. Does he have to look perfect? He doesn't have to look perfect. But minimally, you should have told me about it. Right? So Tav Mesatandu is, I don't have to see him. Because a woman said it's okay. I have a husband. But at least I was told. The Ketana was never told. Because she doesn't have the capacity to even appreciate that. All of a sudden, she's taken by surprise. I mean, I should be with a man I wasn't even aware about the whole relationship. She may walk away from it. Therefore, it's the wrong thing for a man to marry off his father when she's a Ketana. So Tosas asks, V'achshav, but factually, we don't conduct ourselves this way any longer. V'achshav she'onu noagim l'kadesh b'noseina afil ketanos. Today, the minhag, we're talking about Svardim, right? We're talking about Ashkenazim. We marry off our daughters when they're minors. Hainu shum shemchol yom v'yom hagolus mizgaber oleinu. Hear this? Especially in Germany. Germany, all the pogroms were in Germany, you know, what the Jews went through in Germany. Bavaria. The Golus intensifies from day to day. Today, the father could afford a dowry. Tomorrow he may be displaced. May have nothing. May be driven out with a shirt on his back. Shema la'achas lo yasipik biyodo. V'teshiv bito aguna lolam. The father, today I can marry off. Man's not marrying a woman unless there's a dowry. Tomorrow, if he doesn't have dowry, his daughter is going to be a spinster for the rest of her life. So the daughter understanding this, she's not offended. Why did my father do it to me? Would you prefer to be a spinster or to have a husband? So there, she's not offended. See, if you could have waited till later, why don't you wait? You know, so then she's offended. But over here, we understands that if I would have waited, you may not be able to get married, because they may not be able to marry you. Then already she's okay with that. That she accepts, right? That's the rationale why Isser. It's not we're waiving this. No, there is no Isser, because the mindset of the girl, understanding what the alternative is, she's agreeable. I'm happy you did it for me, because I wouldn't want the alternative to be a spinster. That's the understanding. Where do we find such a thing? The Gemara says in the halacha is you're not permitted. Torah violation. Mitzvah to say mitzvah if you lend a Jew money with ribbis, you know, with interest. Torah violation. So the Gemara says, what about lending a goy, a non-Jew? So the Gemara says that although b'doraisa you're permitted, b'drabona you should not. You should not. Why? So there's a question why. So the Gemara says because if you lend a Jew to a goy, you end up lending a Jew. It's a siyog, it's a fence. So therefore the Gemara says, what about a person's a great Talmud Chacham, where he's not going to make this kind of mistake? A Tzurmi Rabbanon is permitted to lend a goy with ribbis. This is the way it was legislated initially. So Tosas asks, but we know Jews are money lenders. No, they're not Talmidei Chachamim, right? We're money lenders. So, but it's this Rabbanon, an ordinary Jew is not permitted to lend money with ribbis. So, he permitted. So Tosas says that since we're in Golus, and every day the exile becomes more intense, and we have no means of survival, it becomes an overriding factor. Therefore, so what is the Yisr? If you're able to make ends meet without it, you shouldn't do it. So as a result of that, that's the reason why you're permitted. There's no provision whatsoever. Okay, it's interesting. The Chofetz Chaim writes in the Avos Chesed. Speaks about a heteriska. Heteriska. He says very against the heteriska. He says if a person has no means of livelihood other than lending with a heteriska, which the way it's structured, you're circumventing Isser, is one thing. But he says for a few slivers, his words, for a few gagare kesef, little slivers of silver, you're willing to get involved in lending money with interest, to try to circumvent the law. Therefore, when Jews had no choice, but is one thing. But if you have a choice, well, I want to make more money. You have a livelihood. Maybe because you get an extra percentage on your money to get more, then you're doing the wrong thing. Who? No, to Goyim is not a problem. Talking to Jews. We're not talking about Goyim. We're talking about Jews. Heteresker. We don't have to. He's always permitted. He's Shomer Rabbanon. A Talmud Chacham was permitted always to lend to a guy. It was never for a Talmud Chacham. Right? We're talking for ordinary Jews. But I'm saying, what heter is to a Jew? The Chofetz Chaim says you shouldn't do it. Like the whole idea also, it's decided. Heter Mechira Shabbos. A person has a business, and he wants the business to be open on Shabbos. The ways to do it. So all the Gedolim, they all say, when Jews couldn't survive unless they relied on this very serious leniency, case you relied on heter, it's called heter mechira. But today, even if business closed on Shabbos, you're gonna have a livelihood. It's not you're gonna starve. Your family's not gonna starve. It's the wrong thing to do. Nah, that's prusbul. Prusbul, not heter riska.
A lot of business